Good morning. It's December 31st. I hope you have your cup of coffee. Let's briefly go over what happened last night and let's take a look and guess at what's going to happen today. Overnight in Asia, we had the Nikkei down 0.86%. We had the Hang Seng up 1.7%. So some strength in China and a little bit of weakness in Japan. Japan's been on fire lately, so to see a little weakness creep in is not unexpected. And now to see China picking up is a good sign for the bulls. Going over to Europe, we have mixed results as of 7:45 a.m. this morning. We have the FTSE that is up, slightly green at 0.12%, and we have the DAX that is down almost 1% in the red. What to look for this morning before the market opens, 8:30 a.m. this morning, we have the initial claims. We want to be underneath that 500,000 number. We should be able to do that. We have a consensus as will be 460,000 new jobless claims. We'd like to see that get down to 0 in 2010. That probably will not happen, but it is on a downward slide, and those are good. That's a good slide to be on. So let's look at our breadth charts and our sentiment charts and see what's happened to the price action yesterday as we closed on the highs of yesterday. Well, we closed on the highs, but in fact underneath the market we see on our 10-day high moving low continued weakness. So on the NYSE we have a sliding scale. Only 3.72% more stocks made new 10-day highs than made 10-day lows. And we continue to see this momentum being drained and drained and drained underneath this price action. So we have a divergence. We have price going up, but in fact underneath the market we see a draining of sentiment. Well, let's look at the 40-day moving average. This is the number of stocks that are making, the percentage of stocks that are above their 40-day moving average. And on the NYSE, which is the top, we actually sloped down yesterday, so we continue to see weakness. So a bunch of stocks slipped below their 40-day moving average. On the RUT and on the NASDAQ, this being the NASDAQ here in the middle, there actually is a little slight uptick. So there was actually some strengthening on this indicator in both the RUT and the NASDAQ. So this chart actually scores a pretty positive bull number of +4. So we'll have to watch this to see if it can confirm the weakness that we see in the 10-day high minus the 10-day low. Let's go and look at the 52-week moving averages. This also scored a -6. So that puts us down to -12 plus -10 plus 6 is -4 or something. So this puts us down on the bull side also. And we continue to see that these guys, all these stocks, made their 52-week high, but they're not repeating that 52-week high. So they've immediately sold off from their highs and are weakening and weakening and weakening. So what is that? How does that look into the price action? Let's look at the price action. What did we do yesterday in the market too? I wanted to look at, we had a nice trade yesterday. Yesterday we had the dollar. This is the dollar, the DXH10 dollar contract. And yesterday we had that spike right here, which Tom saw in the trading room, and we shorted that from there down to I think somewhere in here, and picked up a nice about $1,500 I think in trading that contract. So that was a really great call. That spike was, I think, right around the time where we thought that maybe the NASDAQ was under terrorist attack. So it's interesting to see that any type of terror situation would cause the dollar to spike, as money would go and to seek safety during some type of crisis still. So what am I doing with the lines today on the ES? Let's see what the ES lines look like. Okay, the bulls themselves need to get their price up above this 1125 number, I believe, and we're sitting there right now trading pre-market. We're another gap up, about 2.25 point gap up from yesterday's close. Yesterday I had this line at 121. Here I moved it up to 121.50 only because I watched it all day long, and it took us all the way until the 4:15 close before the bulls were able to get that to close up above 121.50. We crossed above it so many times yesterday, but it was like 10 attempts to get across that line, and finally it was at the 4:15 that we were able to do it. So if the bears want to regain territory, we would expect this to fade. This current thrust here that we're in here, we would expect it to begin to fade, maybe try and bounce up in here, up and down here a couple times, and then fall off and close below this 121.50 today. That would be my expectation setting up for Monday. So again, my expectations is the market is underneath weak. The price action is not weak. The price action is bullish. There's a divergence there, but I think that the underneath breath will eventually win, and the market will be pulled back down here into some type of correction. Whether it's a 1% correction, a 3% correction, a 6% correction, a 25% correction, I do not know yet. And we'll be able to tell that a little bit from the momentum and see how the momentum is setting up. That's what I see in the markets today. Watch those levels. Everybody have a happy new year. Be safe, be sane. See you on Monday.